Hey everybody, Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing awesome today. So this is a session with the Lead Team Collective, our spirit teams. So we're going to ask a bunch of questions. These questions came from the community, and I'll tell you what the categories are. So basically I put a post out on the channel. If you subscribe and hit notifications, you'll be notified when I put a post out, and I call it a call out for questions. And then you can ask your questions. And then I basically take all your questions and I have AI organize them for me so that they have to be yes, no questions. And then AI puts them, I call her Mabel, but she puts them into categories for me. And so that there's a nice flow for us. Okay. So watch for the call out for questions. And so so let me just tell you, first we're going to do an SG session. I call it SGs, Spirit Guides. And there's 24 questions today in this grouping. But then I have something special. I just got this Oracle deck. At the end, I'm going to pull an Oracle card for all of us. Believe in your own magic. So I just got this and I want to use it. So I'm like, let's do that at the end. So we'll do a quick card reading at the end. Okay. Just something for you to leave feeling very positive about at the end of the session. So we've got communication boundaries. So again, these came from questions from you guys. Okay. Numbers and timing of guides. So let's see, what does timing mean? This is how Mabel has labeled them. Do we have ET guides? I think we already answered that, but that's okay. She might have pulled some. I told her not to do that, but from the first session with your questions. It's okay if they get repeated though, because sometimes that's nice with confirmation. Then we have guardian angels and lineage, which will be really interesting. Guardian beings. So do we all have guardian angels, a dragon and a unicorn? That's one of the questions. Should we ask them directly what names to call them is a question. Then we have ancestral and personal guides. For instance, can a spirit guide be someone who once lived in our life, like a grandmother? Oh my gosh, can't wait to hear the answer to that. Then we have ancestors and teamwork. Do ancestors have the same free will limits that spirit guides do? So do our ancestors, are they a part of our spirit teams? I'm so glad somebody asked this because we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. I'm going to do a call out of questions because I'm really curious about how our ancestors, let's do a whole session, you guys, on ancestors. I'm going to make a note. So I will probably, by the time this posts, that will already be in the post area. So now I got to think about timing on these things. So I will probably it'll probably be in the post area for like one day after you see this video. Okay. So, because let's ask our questions about ancestors, like ancestors, obviously, that have passed on, you could ask questions about ancestors that are currently on earth with you. But like, are they one big soul family? Like, do we circle around on earth and maybe going other planets, in other realms? Do we do that with the same, our ancestors? I actually did a session about soul families. If you go to Ask the Spirit Guides playlist, which I will always post at the end of a video now, right here. So you can just go to our channel and search soul families. Okay, if you wanted to get more information. There's like 180 videos of me asking a gazillion questions that you guys have been asking over the last year. So if you don't have a current video to watch, definitely go into the playlist. There's just so much in there that's relevant. It's always going to be relevant because they're timeless questions, basically. Okay, so let's take a look and see what the spirit guides have to say about these areas. So I'm going to say I have a little prayer first. So I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the Lead Team Collective, and only those of the highest and purest light. And ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel your channel, the Lead Team Collective, so it is all of the highest and purest light. Amen. This is when they start tickling my nose. It's kind of hard to hold these and then have your nose being tickled. So lead team, hello, and same hello to my own spirit team. Now is a good time to thank your own spirit teams for all their guidance and support, even if you're not sure that they are giving you guidance and support, because they are. And in fact, we just established that in the previous video we did, okay, a couple days ago. So we want to always, show a little appreciation is a good thing. Yeah, see? And so thank you to my guides and thank you to the lead team. And if you guys can thank the lead team, because it's made up of all of our spirit teams, that would be amazing. All right, lead team, we've got a bunch of questions for you today. Really appreciate all your guidance on all of these questions we keep asking you, because it is very helpful for us. It's very helpful for us as human beings. And you guys know that, right? Yeah, they know it. Yeah, really wide yes on that. Okay. So do you guys have a problem with us asking questions of you? That might actually be a question that somebody had. No. So we'll confirm it later, because I know that pops up on one of these lists that we have of questions from you guys. Okay, good. All right, lead team, let's go ahead and get started. So question number 1, is it sometimes important to limit how we connect with our guides? Is it important to limit? No. And as always, if you have follow-up questions, because a lot of these questions always bring up a ton of questions for me. If you have questions you want to add, put them in the comments today, and we'll pull those and combine. We're creating lists of your questions, and then we'll just keep running sessions like this, even if there's just a variety of sessions. Now my neighbors are looking up here. I'm like, hang on. I don't want them to see me with dowsing rods. I'd have to have some explaining to do. Okay, they're gone. So let's see. Is direct communication through dowsing rods or a pendulum good for everyone? Yes. Okay. So let me just clarify. So you always want to, sometimes when you're working, I always mention this, you'll see me clarify things. And I do that, one, because we want to fish out things. We need to make sure we're asking it the right way. 2, it helps you to discern how you're asking questions yourself, because it's important to do that if you're wanting different kind of answers. Okay. If you want to make sure you're getting an answer that's good guidance for you, you want to make sure that, like the word good in here could be not an issue, but it can sway the answer one way or the other. So what I've come to learn after using these for 13 years, I've been using them for a long time, but more so over the last year using them in the community here, because I've had to really focus. Facilitating conversation with other people is very different than just using them myself, which I did for many years. Okay. But if you are watching people who use dowsing rods like I do, and maybe the answer to something is what you would consider inaccurate, there's a very good chance, compared to maybe something you heard someone else, another medium say, let's say, okay? There's a very good chance that it's not inaccurate, it's how the question is asked. And the same goes for each of us individually. So we're always moving so fast and on to the next question, and, trying to always solve a bunch of stuff in our own lives. But it's really helpful to slow down so that you can get the answers that you're hoping to get. So if you notice that sometimes I or someone else uses dowsing rods and there's some inaccuracy, I put that in quotes, because the spirit guides do not lie. They tell us the answer to what we're asking. but it just may be how we're asking it. So I hope that makes sense. So back to that question, is direct communication through rods or pendulum good for everyone? So now I picked up on the word good. Okay, so I'm going to verify that in a couple different ways. Is direct communication through rods or pendulum necessary for everyone to connect with their guides? No. So it's good. Is there anyone that using dowsing rods or a pendulum, it might not be helpful for them? Yes. Okay, so this is the difference. So is it good for everyone? Sure, it's good for everyone, right? Is it necessary for everyone to use them to connect with their guides? No. Is it sometimes not helpful for some people to use them? Yes. There's a difference between is it good for everyone or is it sometimes not helpful to some people? And the answer was yes. So good, yes. Not helpful, yes. Does that make, you see what I'm saying? Those are very different ways that's very different information, actually. So just kind of keep that in mind again. And, if I'm tired, if I'm running a session here and I'm tired, or towards the end, I get a little tired, it's an energy thing, then I might not be as good of clarifying questions. Or if I'm talking about a topic that, let's just say the e-files, that's pretty heavy, right? Or I don't know how to clarify. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind that's why this is, of course, entertainment purposes only, but it's really just also a little bit of education for all of us as I'm sharing what I know, which is, like that much, to be honest. Just my experience, right? I'm not an expert in this or anything like that. I'm just facilitating these kind of conversations to help everybody tap in. Like the whole purpose of this channel is to work with our guides to tap into to follow your own inner guidance. Don't follow my inner guidance, follow your inner guidance. That's my overall purpose of this channel, which I'm getting back to. I kind of lost it for a while, but that is, no, I didn't completely lose it, but that's kind of really the whole purpose of this, is so that each of us learn to follow our own inner guidance. And hopefully you're just inspired to do it by watching this and listening to this. If we've asked our guides not to use certain communication methods, can we reverse that choice later? Absolutely. I mean, I'm going to just tell you that intuitively. So yes, they're saying yes. Absolutely. You have free will. You have free will, and you can say, no, 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 not right now. And then yes, 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 later on. Now, I do know certain mediums. I don't know if you guys are aware of, oh boy, what's his name? William. What's his name? He's a medical medium. Oh my gosh. This is the problem when I try to pull up names on the fly. Anthony William. Williams or William. Anyways, he's on YouTube, but he's all plant-based. So plant-based, which I followed his recommendations for a while, and it really did. I mean, it was fine, but it didn't help me completely. So, but anyways, he's got a spirit guide that talks to him just since he was like 4, constantly, never stops talking. And I'm sure he's asked him to stop talking, asked him or her, this being to stop talking. No, doesn't stop. So obviously that's his life plan. So in that case, like, where's his free will? It would be interesting actually to do a session if enough of you knew who Anthony William was. It'd be interesting to do a session. It would be interesting to do a session with the SGs about different mediums, like popular ones. So let me know if you guys have any interest in that. Will our guides only allow reversal? So reversal in terms of if we've asked them not to communicate in certain ways, will our guides only allow reversal if it's healthy for us? No. Okay, so will they always allow a reversal based on our free will? Yes. But could we ask, is it healthy for us to communicate with you this way? So why don't you talk with them and say, well, I don't want, or you can say, I want to reverse the communication, or I want to go back to communicating with you this way if it's in my highest and best good. Because if you say it that way, then you are saying, I want free will to say, yes, I'm ready for this. But if it's not in my highest and best good, then don't give it to me. So let's ask that. So if we ask for something like I just said, and if it's in, can we say, if it's in my highest and best good, do you then listen to that direction? Yes. So in this case, if we ask for a reversal on communication skills methods with you, and it's not in our highest best good, would you communicate with us that way? No. All right. Can spirit guides answer relationship questions? Certainly, they can answer questions about anything. I mean, look at us here, right? Again, just watch the way you're asking, or ask in multiple ways. Best to write it down, because see, the reason I can see things clearly because I'm looking at it on the screen. I am looking at your questions. If I didn't look at your questions, I probably wouldn't interpret them the same way. If I was just like reading like question after question just off the top of my head, I probably wouldn't catch some of those things, right? So write your questions down. If you're going to ask relationship questions, then write your questions down, then pull out your dowsing rods, or then pull out your oracle cards and ask the questions, or ask for the guidance on that particular question. When they do ask about, I'm assuming about relationship questions, do they take our free will changes into account? Or only read the energy of the moment. Okay, let me think about this. Because this was a question somebody asked, so Mabel just rewrote it like this. So I'm not quite sure I understand it. So can spirit guides answer relationship questions? The answer is yes. When they do they take our free will changes into account, or only read the energy of the moment? I am not sure I understand that. But I will just have them answer it. And then whoever wrote that, maybe you understand it, or maybe somebody else understands that. So do you guys have an answer to that question? Do you take our free will changes into account? Yes. Or do you only read the energy of the moment? No. Oh, okay. Maybe I get it. Maybe I get it. Oh, right. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what the question is. You take like almost our whole lifespan into account, that type of thing, like all the changes we've made over time. So that's actually quite interesting. So you guys, when you're giving us guidance, yes, they say yes. Do you take in all of the things we've been through in a lifetime? Let's just say you take into consideration. Yes. Okay, that's great. All right. And not only that, but you take in kind of what is forthcoming, correct? In terms of what would be good for us. Yeah. And most importantly, you probably give us the guidance that's aligned with our life plan, correct? Yes. And our soul contract. So it probably has to be aligned with our soul contract, correct? Yes. If a question we ask you, let's just say about relationships, if it's not aligned with our soul contract, will you tell us that? So that would be a good question to ask. Is this relationship aligned with my soul contract? Is my volunteering here or working here aligned with my life plan? Let's just say you're having a hard time making decisions. That would be a good question to ask, just for, verification. Okay, so we're on to number and timing of guides. Can we have more than one spirit guide? I already know the answer to yes. Do we each have, okay, can we have more than 2 spirit guides? No. So we each have 2, is that correct? So every human has 2 spirit guides? Even Jesus had 2 spirit guides when he was on earth? Yes. Okay. Can a new spirit guide enter during midlife? Yes, and we have done a session on this again, lots of Ask the Spirit Guide sessions. So you guys could binge watch our Ask the Spirit Guide sessions. You would know so much at the end of it, I'll tell you. Um, and if you ever, if it sparks additional questions, just write the questions in there. Or if you see any inconsistencies, let me know too, because I'm curious about that, because I can't track that kind of stuff. Or if you see consistencies. So, so my understanding from previous sessions, we each have two spirit guides, a personal dragon, which I think the question's coming up, a personal unicorn, and a guardian angel, and they all have different roles to play. So, which is amazing. That's why we call them spirit teams. And that spirit guides, not the guardian angel, the dragon, the dragon, which I find fascinating. I don't know enough about dragons. We just did a whole series in the spirit circle on unicorns, so I know a lot about that now. So unicorns, dragons, and personal or guardian angels stay with you for life. Spirit guides change depending on what you need, which is awesome, actually, to think about that. They shift depending on the guidance that you need. So I don't know. I think that's something we learned. So is what I just said accurate? Yes. And I like to just verify because things I've learned is that, so do we have a personal unicorn? Do we all have a personal unicorn? Yes. Do we all have a personal dragon? Yes. Do we all have a guardian angel? Yes, and we have two spirit guides at any given time. Yes. So everybody has a 5 spirit team, a guaranteed 5 spirit team. Yes, cool. So the spirit guides can shift from throughout our lives depending on what we're dealing with, correct? Yes. Is there ever one spirit guide that just sticks with us the entire lifetime? No. But are the guardian angel, the unicorn, and the dragon, do they shift in our lifetimes? No. Okay, so those stay constant. Okay, that's good. I like a little constant. That feels good. Okay, do we have ET guides? Are any extraterrestrials? No. And this question could be, again, we could weed this out because it's like, well, what is an ET, right? What are we talking about here? Because we're all ETs. I mean, it's like that's just a language that we're using that when I'm asking that question, they're interpreting it in a certain way, but I don't know if they're interpreting it correctly. So because we really, if you were having a soul having a different experience on a different realm, which my understanding is we do, there's many, many planets that we don't even know about in human form that we can have soul experiences on. When they're over there, they look at us like an ET, right? So I think it's like, well, what are we talking about? So our spirit guides... Are our spirit guides only other entities who have had a human experience? Okay, so that'll clarify some. Yes. But do we also have experiences on other planets or other realms besides just Earth? Yes. And do our spirit guides also have had other experiences on other realms? Yes. So are our spirit guides any different than, let's say I transition and I decide in the next 100 years, Earth years, to be a spirit guide, rather than like my higher self decides to be a spirit guide and have that experience rather than reincarnating on Earth. Is that possible? Yes. So can any of us be a spirit guide when we're in spirit form? Yes. Do our higher selves, this will blow people away a little bit if you're not sure, if you're not aware of this kind of stuff, but again, conversations we've been having all year about this kind of stuff. Our higher selves can have multiple experiences, right? Yes. Multiple experience meaning we could have one part of our energy on Earth. Yes, we can have multiple parts of our energy on Earth at the same time. Yes. We can have energy on Earth and energy on another plane. Yes. Okay, well, so now this is the follow-up question to that. Can we be like, here I am, my higher self is taking on the avatar of Karen on Earth right now in this lifetime? Yes. Can my higher self also be having a spirit guide experience, being a spirit guide for somebody? Yes. Okay, that's what I wanted to get to. Okay, so things are not, they're not one dimensional. It's very, you know, it's just, it's magical, right? It's kind of magical. And we always try to get our head wrapped around this stuff. And sometimes it's not that easy to get our heads wrapped around all of this. So if we do, so the question was, okay, so let me go back. Based on all that I just asked and how I explained ETs, do we ever have ETs as guides? Yes. See, so now you see how they said no at first and they changed it to yes. That's the tricky part about doing this live with you, is to make sure that that gets teased out. That's why sometimes you'll see inconsistencies among mediums, because it is completely how they interpret stuff. And that doesn't make anybody bad or right or wrong. It's just how we interpret stuff and our own human experience, our egos, our personalities all come into play. Same with yours when you're working with yours, okay? So that's very interesting. So let's see, do we have ET guides? There was a follow-up question to that. Do we have ET guides? So the answer is yes. If we do, can we have more than one? So we've kind of already answered this. Yes. And so we've got two basically. Yes. All right. So now we're on to guardian angels and lineage. Is a guardian angel always a relative who passed before we were born? No, not always. See, the question there was always. Got to be careful with that. Is a guardian angel sometimes a relative who passed before we were born? Yes. See, I don't know enough about guardian angels now. I haven't spent too much time. We've always spent time with spirit guides. Now I have a whole lot more information about unicorns. So I need more information about guardian angels. And so I probably should read a book on that. Maybe we'll bring something into the spirit circle on that. And dragons. I have a book. Somebody had sent me a book on dragons. I have an oracle deck on dragons. All of those books are written by Diana Cooper, so we are only getting one perspective. But she has channeled, she has a lot of books. She's channeled a lot. So yeah, so I don't know enough about guardian angels to really understand that. Like to ask more questions. Like I kind of feel like guardian angels are guardian angels always have been on Earth at some point? No. See, that's the part that confused me about that, because I kind of thought, but some guardian angels have? Yes. Is that a evolutionary thing for guardian angels? Ah, yes. Okay. So we can evolve to be a guardian angel at some point? Yes. Just like we can evolve to become a master or an ascended master? Yes. Which, by the way, that's what Jesus is. He's an ascended master. No different than like Archangel Michael. I mean, they're different, but you know what I mean? He's not like the ascended master. Well, that's what I've learned. So is that true that Jesus is one of the ascended masters? Yes. Is Jesus the ascended master, like the most significant ascended master? No. All right. We can wait. I did 3 sessions with Jesus, by the way. Ask the Spirit Guides playlist. Just type it in. Just type in Jesus on our channel and you'll find those videos. Do some people have only a guardian angel and no separate spirit guides? No. Okay, that's just confirmation from what we talked about earlier. Can that happen if someone is partly non-human, such as partly Pleiadian? I'll have to clarify that. Okay, they don't know how to answer that. Can what happen? Can it happen? Do we have spirit guides that are partly non-human? I don't understand. So spirit guides are in spirit, so they would be non-human. So I guess I'm not sure about this question. Can someone have a spirit guide that is partly Pleiadian? See, I don't know enough about Pleiadians. Yes. Okay. And this is an area I don't know enough about. So if you have additional questions, you guys, about Pleiadians, or want us to explore like Pleiadians in general, we can explore Atlantis. We can explore, there's a place where the unicorns are. I think it's called Lucame or something like that. But we can explore different, like the Pleiadians, the Atlantans. So let me know if you have interest in those. So Jared is going to be, making lists of your questions going forward. Okay, you guys. So guardian beings, do we all have a guardian angel? Okay, we just answered this, a dragon and a unicorn. So confirmation, yes. Should we ask them directly what names to call them? So do you guys pick up on the word there so they're saying no. What's the word in that sentence that needs clarification? Can you tell me what it is? It's a little quiz. So the word is should. That's the word that needed clarification. So can we ask our angels, spirit guides, guardian, dragon, unicorn for their names? Yes. Is it necessary to have their names to communicate with them? No. Okay. So again, the should, right? Ancestral and personal guides. Can a spirit guide be someone who once lived in our life like a grandmother? Yes. Very cool. So they can be. If so, were they always one of our guides? Were they always one of our guides? And remember, our guides change, so no. Do our guides have favorite ways of sending messages? No. Or do they pick, depending on who they're working with, what's best for them? Yes. So our guides don't have any personal preferences in terms of how they send messages. No, it's all up because that would be kind of ego-based probably for them to have preferences. Yes. So preferences is really part of the human experience. When we have inner dialogue about decisions, is that our guides talking? Yes. Is it also our ego talking? Yes. So, yeah, that's nice. That's helpful, right? All right, last couple of questions and we'll pull a card. Ancestor and teamwork. Our ancestors, I love this. I just want to do a session on ancestors. Are ancestors always a part of our spirit team? Oh, yes. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So our spirit guides have always been, well, again, we established that spirit guides have had a human experience, correct? Yes. So that's how they know how to guide us because they've been here. Oh yeah, my nose. I can't tell if it's just they're tickling me or if it just itches. So yeah, they're really okay. So I love that. I love that so much about ancestors. Like it almost feels like it's more familiar then to think of your spirit guides as ancestors. It really feels more personal, doesn't it? It does for me. Do spirit guides work together with our ancestors? Okay, so the answer is no, because they are our ancestors. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Do ancestors have the same free will limits that spirit guides do? Yes. Remember, they are our spirit guides. So they do. They can't interfere in our experience. That's part of our contract, basically. Do ancestors play a different but complementary role? No. And so really, well, okay, so we have two spirit guides that are circling in and out of our lives, and they are at some point have been an ancestor. Or let's just say, is an ancestor always a part of our soul family? Yes. Can we have someone in our soul family that's not an ancestor? Yes. Okay. And so when we say ancestor, again, it's semantics. We use the word ancestor. Soul family is a little wider. And so um, if members of our soul family, are they always ancestors? Yes. Now here's the question. Okay, so the lead team, I'm asking you, is when we use the word ancestor that you are referring to, are they blood related? Like, are they human blood related always? Because, okay, no. Okay, again, semantics and how we're asking the questions. Okay, so yeah, anyways, very cool. Very good session. I loved it. All right, lead team. I already said the prayer, so I don't have to say anything else. Give us one card that you would like us to hear today. Anything that would be helpful for us going into the next couple days. What would you like us? Oh, okay. So I did get 3 cards. Let me just ask them. 3 dropped out. Do you guys want me to read all 3 of these? No. Okay, what about the card on the right? No. The card in the middle? No. The card on the left. Card on the left? Yes. Okay. Did you want me to pull a different card altogether? No. Okay. All right. So the card on the left. This one was, I'm just going to read these other 2 just in case somebody needed to hear these. This one was flower. Look how cute the cards are. Be honest with yourself. All right. That is a 17, which 1 plus 7 is an 8. So that's an 8 number. Be honest with yourself. And oh, dragons. Slay them all. I'm not going to read the book on that, but that's interesting. Slay the dragons, like, I don't know. Like that, what I intuitively just picked up is like slay the dragons in your life, not, just like, let's cut clear and cancel them. Let's cut the cords. Not necessarily dragons like our personal dragons, and that's a 6 card. So, all right. So the one they wanted us to have collectively, oh, yep. They have been telling us this for many months, you guys. So anybody ignoring it? Potion, remember to practice self-love, self-care. That's one of the reasons I've shifted how I'm doing things on the channel in the community right now. I've been doing it all along. It's just I am practicing self-care. And I want everybody here to do the same thing. They want everybody here to do the same thing. That's why we've got this message. So 24, 2 plus 4 is 6. So it's a 6 card. We did get 2 6 cards. Here's another one. We got another one. Okay, let's see what this, aren't these cards cute? They're so cute. And this book is so cute. It's kind of little. I don't mind little. I put a link to these in the description if you want to check them out. Yeah, and nice and big for us older folk. All right, remember to practice self-love. You're familiar with the concepts of self-love and self-care, but either you've never actively practiced them or there's something you've fallen behind on. Yes, yes. It's so easy to fall behind on it because when we're moving so fast, I keep telling myself, slow down, just slow down. Either way, you should get back on track. Keep yourself maintained in all ways, big or small. That can mean calling it quits to take a luxurious bath instead. Or that can mean putting on a rosewater face mask and getting out your planner so you can sort out your life before it gets too out of control. All right. Great reminder. I hope that was fun and helpful, and I will see you next time. Have a good one. Until then, bye-bye.